All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Wednesday, January 30th, 2019, and if you're in the Midwest right now, it is terribly cold out. It's like -20 where I'm at, but I'm not going to let that stop me from making my Super Bowl predictions video for Super Bowl 53. So we only got like literally one pick to make, and of course, the two teams are the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams, and we are finally in Super Bowl week. It's Super Bowl 53 on Sunday. And yeah, I got my pick 'em. I made my predictions. It's obvious who I picked. If you've been following the channel, if you know anything about me at all, I mean, I'm picking the guys on the left side of the screen, but maybe not as big a blowout as other people that you may have like heard talk about. There's been weird people picking the Patriots just to slaughter this, like it might be multiple touchdowns. And no, I think it's going to be very, very close and a very good game. I'll give my pick right after I go over the game. So you have to kind of stay tuned for my actual prediction, even though it's obviously going to be the Patriots. But you know, if you want the score and what I actually think, you should listen. I hope you do. As this is the last pick'em video until August, unless you want to follow the AAF, the Alliance of American Football. You know, whatever. But okay, of course, this game is going to be played in Atlanta, Georgia. Super Bowl 53 will be. The time and date is 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is I believe when everything gets going, and it's 6:50 is the actual kickoff. Somewhere between 6:30 and 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time will be kickoff. I'll be live streaming at exactly 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live reacting to the game. I hope you tune in and join us for our Super Bowl party. February 3rd, 2019, which is, of course, this Sunday. Everybody will be watching. The whole world, or at least all of America, will be so. All right, anyway. The line. The Patriots are 2.5 favorites, and the over-under is 56.5 points. My score will be under the over-under. I don't think they'll hit 56 in this game. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty good defensive game, but with some points scored because of the offenses, of course. And I think what it will come down to. All right, so this is what I believe the game will come down to, and I think it comes up to the upfront battles. The Patriots offensive line versus the Rams defensive line. That is what I think is the key point of this game. In the past couple games for the Patriots, their offensive line has been absolutely brilliant. Brady has not been touched. I think he's been pressured twice in 90 dropbacks. Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead, Cordarrelle Patterson, and of course James White are all having phenomenal games out of the backfield. Especially Sony Michel rushing for 5 touchdowns in 2 games, 240 plus yards. So that's incredible. All kudos to the offensive line. Brady's getting rid of the ball in about 2.1 seconds. That's been crucial to their success and the reason they're scoring and scoring often. And Brady hasn't been touched, so they know what their offensive line is. And then we have the Rams' defensive line. Shut down the Cowboys' dangerous run game in Ezekiel Elliott. And then they shut down Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. They were non-factors in that NFC Championship game. And they're getting a lot of good pressure on the quarterback. Sue had like 4 sacks all regular season. Already has 1.5, maybe 2 sacks this playoffs, and that's because everyone's just keying on Donald and taking him out. Yeah, Aaron Donald's sort of had a lackluster playoff, if you would. In my opinion, he's obviously drawing attention in the double teams, and he's playing a key part in the running defense. But that's given Ndamukong Suh the 2 sacks in the postseason so far. He had 4 all regular season, so he's stepped up and is putting the pressure on the quarterbacks. They have 2 intercepting machines in their secondary, and Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. And Nikel Roby-Coleman he's all right. He will commit the big penalty if he has to. It's the only reason they're in the Super Bowl. But yeah, and I also think. That's why I think it's going to come down to how the Patriots offensive line handles Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald, as well as like the entire defensive front of the front 7 of the Rams is very good. They can put pressure on you. They can get after your run game and shut it down. They've done it to 2 teams this offseason or this postseason already in the Cowboys, who run well, and the Saints, who run pretty well. I also am curious. Can they get pressure on Brady? The Chiefs, who are the best sacking team in football, they led the league, were unable to get anything on Brady. The Chargers, who have a very good defense with Melvin Ingram, and I believe Joey Bosa is on the team, they couldn't get to Brady either. So I wonder if having, just because you have Sue and Donald, does that make up for what the line is doing right now and how fast Brady's getting rid of the ball, how good Brady's playing, how well they're running it? They're working on every facet of offense. Nothing is going wrong when they're on the field. And they got hot at the right time of the year. When you get hot at the end of the season, that is the best thing that can happen for your team. You're playing on momentum. You're playing well, and the Patriots have blown out the last three teams they've played. Not really blow out the Chiefs, but they scored a lot of points against them. And if it wasn't for a disastrous fourth quarter by the Patriots defense, 24 points in 4 minutes by Mahomes, that was a blowout. Everybody. That was a boring game until the Chiefs decided to just turn it on and the defense collapsed yet again. That's another thing you have to worry about. How will the Patriots defense, play a full game, not let the other team come back? Because this Rams team, that's how they do things. They can come back on a team. They have all the pieces to come back at you in a shootout. So that's something the Patriots have to worry about. If you're a Patriots fan, you have to think, all right, if we're up 28-7 or something, and it's the fourth quarter, we've seen this script before. Miami came back against us, and the Chiefs came back against us twice, but we were able to fend that off. So you have to think about, we've given up big leads, and with barely any time taken off the clock. Again, it took Mahomes like 4 minutes to score 24 points in the fourth quarter, and until that point, it was a pretty fucking set in stone game, in my opinion. Now, but I do worry about Jared Goff and how he handles the stage. The last couple games, he started slow. Against the Cowboys, he didn't have the greatest start, finished all right. And against the Saints, he started very slow, looked very uncomfortable until about the second or third quarter, and then he turned it on and played pretty well. Now, if he has a slow start, doesn't get moving until halftime, fourth quarter, second quarter, plays bad in the first quarter, doesn't put any points on the board, the Patriots will take advantage of that and will pretty much put the nail in the coffin. And unlike the Saints, they're not going to just go get 2 field goals in the beginning of the game and make it 10 to or 13 to whatever, 6 to or whatever that score was. The Saints should have been up like 21-0. The Patriots will go up 21-0, and I don't know if the Rams and Goff have the ability to come back. They do have the pieces, and the Patriots have a defense that can get torched. But I don't know if Goff will be able to pull himself out if he goes down a 3-touchdown lead. Like against the Saints, he was able to pull himself out of that little funk he got in early because he was only down like 12-0 early, and they've already scored 3 times. So his coach was able to kind of get that out of him, and then he obviously pulled it out. But getting down 3 touchdowns might put the Rams, a young team, kind of in a rough spot against a veteran team that's been there a million times. I don't know. And then that comes down to an experience. Obviously goes to the Patriots. The Rams have a 32-year-old head coach. I think he's about to be, the Wonder Kid is going to be outcoached by the mad genius and Bill Belichick. Brady's playing out of his mind. They have this weird mentality that they're the underdog and can't be stopped. If their defense doesn't blow the game and actually plays halfway decent, like they've shown signs that they're able to do, like the first half against Kansas City in that playoff game, the Rams stand no real chance. But I do think because of what we've seen of the Patriots defense, they're susceptible to give up points. The Chargers and Chiefs both had weird little late game comebacks, and I think the Rams will have something similar to that. I think the Patriots get out to about a 28-21-10 lead in going into the fourth quarter, maybe even like a about 28-20, maybe 28-10, something like that. And I think the Rams storm back into the game, and that's how we wind up with the score of 28-24. I do think the Rams fall behind very early. I'm talking 21-0 going into halftime, and then all of a sudden, the New England Patriots, or the Rams, in the fourth quarter, as we've seen with the Chargers and the Chiefs and many other teams against the Patriots this year, the Rams will come back into this one, and they'll fight back ferociously, but fall short on their last drive via a strip sack or an interception to end the game, or just simply they'll fall short on fourth down, and the Patriots will claim their 6th Super Bowl ring, and will But here's some random stuff. I think the Patriots will win 28-24 over the Los Angeles Rams. So we're going under the line, and the Patriots cover the 2.5-point spread, winning by 4 points. Brady captures his 6th ring and kind of shuts up that conversation for good about the best quarterback of all time. And then officially enters, is he the best football player of all time, with the likes of Jerry Rice and Lawrence Taylor and the like. This matchup, I will provide proof for this, was my preseason prediction for the Super Bowl. I will show you very shortly about that. I again predicted the Patriots would win. Shocker if you've been following this channel. I also think Brady might retire, but based on media reports and Brady himself, he won't be hanging it up if they win. Still holding my breath on that, but I also think he won't leave the team high and dry. I will be covering the AAF, the Alliance of American Football, with the rules, schedules, rosters, teams, and then live react to whichever game I can weekly. So soon I will come out with the rules of the AAF and what the AAF is, the schedule, what the rosters and teams are, and then we'll be live reacting to the opening game, which is on February 10th, but more to come with that. And then in the off season, we will be covering the up-to-date news on free agency, drafts, doing mock drafts, all the fun stuff. Thank you so far for tuning into the journey as we end officially our NFL Pick'em series for the season. I hope you guys have had a good time. I have to show you something really quick before we get into all this. My awards and predictions for the NFL season. How I think the season was going to go and what I think the awards were going to be. I thought DJ Moore would win Rookie of the Year. Offensively, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Thought it would be Bradley Chubb, but obviously it's going to be Baker Mayfield and probably Darius Leonard. Offensive Player of the Year I thought would be Drew Brees. That's going to be Patrick Mahomes. And Defensive Player of the Year I thought would be Myles Garrett, but it's probably going to be Aaron Donald. MVP, I was pretty close with Brees. If he didn't fall apart at the end of the year, I think I actually would have nailed it with the MVP. But they're going to give it to Mahomes, which is fair. Coach of the Year, Shanahan. If he wouldn't have had his entire offense get hurt, we might have been looking at a different kind of thing with Kyle Shanahan. I also thought Mahomes was going to break out and have a crazy year. I predicted it here, as you can see. Also, I thought Adrian Peterson was going to fall apart and fade into obscurity. I was dead wrong about that. And now let's go to the very bottom, the Super Bowl, Patriots and Rams. I thought they'd both be number 1 seeds. They were both number 2 seeds. Winner, New England Patriots. Brady retires. That was my preseason prediction. But anyway, everybody, I thank you so much for tuning in and joining me along this journey of picking games. And however we did in the season, we picked over 60%. In the beginning of the season, we predicted the Super Bowl matchup correctly. Here we are, a short 4 or 5 days away from the Super Bowl now with the matchup I predicted. Hopefully the team I like, the New England Patriots, doesn't get beat again this year. That was hard to take last year, losing to the Eagles. Don't want the Rams to do it. You guys don't want Rams fans to have a championship. That will be goddamn brutal. We don't need this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening if you tuned in all the way. I hope you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Like the video if you enjoyed the content. Comment down below with what you think of my picks, or my pick for this game. I know, please try not to dislike the video simply because I didn't pick the Rams to win. Just leave a like if you're going to like or dislike it. Just leave a like. There's no reason to dislike the video because I didn't pick the goddamn Rams to win. That's silly. I understand that conference championships, the wild card round, and the divisional round dislikes because it's highly emotional, but come on, Rams fans. I'm not saying your team's even bad. I'm scared to death to play your team. So, you'll be back there next year anyway. So you got a dynasty set up. But anyway, leave a comment with what you think of the pick, what you guys think of everything, just what you think the season's ending. Let me know what you're going to do in the off season to cope with there being no football. At least we've got a new league starting on February 10th. Yeah, so I'll comment back on whatever you comment. You can tell me what you ate for lunch. I'll be like, hey, I ate some, pizza rolls or chicken or something. So just whatever you guys want to do, I'll comment back. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this long video for one Super Bowl pick. Have a great day, and go Patriots, go.